Most people try to manifest by pushing harder. They think more effort, more control, and more self-pressure will bend reality in their favor. But the opposite usually happens. The more they chase, the more life seems to resist. This is not bad luck. It is the ego at work. The ego believes manifestation is about proving worth. It wants results to feel safe, validated, and superior. So every desire becomes tense. Every delay feels personal. Every obstacle feels like a threat. From this state, manifestation turns heavy because it is driven by fear of not having enough, not being enough, or falling behind. Letting go of ego does not mean giving up goals. It means releasing the need for reality to confirm your value. When that need drops, something shifts. Decisions become clearer. Actions feel lighter. You stop forcing outcomes and start moving with timing instead of against it. Opportunities appear not because you demanded them, but because you were finally available to see them. Manifestation becomes effortless when you are no longer arguing with the present while begging the future to save you. From calm alignment, not inner tension, reality responds faster. Not magically, but logically. When the inner noise quiets, the right signals get through. Oprah Winfrey's story shows this clearly. Early in her career, she tried to succeed by copying what television expected her to be. She pushed herself to fit a role, chased approval, and forced ambition. The result was constant stress and a feeling of being out of place. Everything changed when she stopped trying to prove herself and began speaking in her own voice. She let go of the ego need to impress and focused on honesty and service. Opportunities didn't just increase, they aligned. Her show became successful not because she forced fame, but because she finally matched who she was inside. The same pattern appears in Steve Jobs' life. After being fired from Apple, the company he helped create, his ego was shattered. What followed was not collapse, but clarity. He later said this period freed him. Without the pressure to defend an image, he focused purely on meaningful work. That inner shift led to Pixar, Next, and eventually his return to Apple, stronger and more creative than before. Reality reorganized itself once the ego stepped aside. In both cases, success came when control loosened. They didn't manifest by chasing status. They manifested by aligning action with inner truth. Modern psychology supports this idea in a grounded, practical way. Studies on self-determination theory show that people perform better and feel more fulfilled when their actions come from inner values rather than ego-based rewards like approval, status, or fear of failure. When motivation shifts from "I must prove myself" to "this matters to me," stress decreases and results improve naturally. Research from Harvard on mindfulness and decision-making found that people who practice non-judgmental awareness, observing thoughts without identifying with them, make clearer choices and adapt faster to change. This reduces ego reactivity. Instead of defending an image, the mind becomes flexible, which leads to better outcomes in work, relationships, and long-term goals. Another well-known finding comes from studies on flow states by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow occurs when self-consciousness fades, the ego quiets, performance increases, time distortion happens, and results often exceed expectations. People in flow don't try to succeed. They are fully present in the process. These studies point to one truth. When the ego steps back, intelligence steps forward. Alignment replaces force, and reality responds more smoothly. Real growth begins when you stop treating life like a courtroom where you must constantly defend your value. Ego wants proof. It wants comparison, recognition, and control. But self-improvement does not come from winning against others or perfecting an image. It comes from honest self-observation. When you can look at your behavior without protecting your pride, learning accelerates. One hard truth is this: the ego resists feedback, but feedback is how progress happens. People who grow faster are not more talented. They are less defensive. They listen, adjust, and move on. Letting go of ego means allowing mistakes to teach instead of shame you. This single shift saves years of stagnation. Another truth is that consistency beats intensity. Ego loves dramatic effort and quick results because they feel impressive. Real progress is quieter. Small daily actions, done without the need to be seen, reshape identity over time. When you act from discipline rather than self-image, motivation becomes stable instead of emotional. Personal growth also requires choosing long-term peace over short-term validation. Ego seeks immediate approval. Growth often asks for patience, solitude, and uncomfortable honesty. When you stop chasing attention, your energy becomes available for mastery. The principle underneath all of this is simple. Improve your relationship with yourself, not your performance for others. When inner alignment comes first, outer results follow naturally.